lot of people who love life. You love life, Hash Bash? And last time I checked, unlike marijuana, loving life is not illegal. And after this November, marijuana will not be illegal. So we are very excited to have you here for the 47th annual Ann Arbor Hash Bash. Can everyone hear me? Yeah! All right, that's awesome. That's because we've got THS Audio doing a great job making us sound good. I just want to make sure everyone's aware of our speaker situation, not to mess with the sound equipment, and everything will go smoothly. I also want to make sure everyone knows, even though we're here to enjoy and celebrate cannabis, the police you may see here are not here to do that. They're here to enforce the law, and while cannabis is decriminalized in Ann Arbor, you are on state of Michigan property. So just mind your P's and Q's, and we're going to have a great afternoon here. We're going to kick off some music. We've got some great speakers. I wanted to make sure everyone knows we've got some incredible tables in the back. Visit the tables and get involved in the local organizations that are fighting for marijuana reform. And make sure that we get the vote out in November. Around 4:30 and 5, we're going to be here cleaning up trash. This is a beautiful campus. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to get here every year, congregate, and celebrate cannabis and protest cannabis prohibition. So I want everyone to just take care of themselves, take care of the space, and we're going to have an incredible time. Yeah, thank you. Make some noise, Hash Bash. Make some noise. So back for the first time in 2 years, we have an incredible musician. He was featured on The Voice for a while, made it to the quarterfinals, and he's Ann Arbor legend. Without further ado, if everyone would take off your hats, and look at the flag, and just rise for the performance of the national anthem by Laith Al-Sadi. All right, Laith Al-Sadi, let's hear it for him again. Yeah, Laith. And happy Hash Bash, everybody. So, we have a great program today.
And I want to remind everybody before I introduce our next speaker that we can really improve conditions this year in November. Besides making sure this is the last hash bash before legalization in Michigan, which is up, we can make sure that we get some really good people in the most important statewide positions, and you'll be able to hear from some of them today, which is really awesome and a sign of how far we've come, in my opinion. And so our next speaker does not really need much of a introduction, but we should make it very clear to him how much we appreciate him. He's not only a cultural icon and a performing artist. In fact, we'll be joined by the great Laith Al-Sadi here very shortly. He is the reason we're all here today. Let's please give the warmest, loudest hash bash welcome possible to the legendary John Sinclair.
Thanks, Jamie. Hi, everybody. Hi. Welcome to the 47th annual Hash Bash. Yeah. They said it couldn't be done, but we're doing it.
That's right.
It's taken a long time since we decriminalized marijuana here in Ann Arbor by making it a $5 fine. That was in 1972. Most of y'all weren't even thought of yet, let alone born. That's a long time, but it shows that if you keep moving forward inexorably and not letting them stop you, you can achieve a lot of things in this country.
That's right.
And we're doing it now, and this year, unless there's some sort of hornswoggling on the part of the legislature, our issue will be on the ballot in November. And already they say 6 out of 10 Michigan voting residents support legalization of marijuana in the fullest. And I'm looking out at the vanguard of this 60%. We believed in this when it was 6%. Yeah, so thanks, everybody. Glad to be here. I'm going to call on my pal Laith Al-Sadi, and I'd like to offer a poem. I usually try to do this year as a blessing for our activities. So some sort of, whatever you want to play, prayerful. Our movement was a spiritual movement. For me, it's still a spiritual movement. We're trying to get high and supersede these ugly conditions of American life. So that's a spiritual quest. So I like to do a poem called Spiritual. What is jazz but spirituals? Played through saxophones and trombones. Spirit voices through metal tubings and the terrible repetition of the formal premise, viz. Trance-like at its best, or boring when the spirit doth not move. Oh, what is blues but spirituals with a line removed? That is structurally and in content just a prayer to the gods of daily life to ask the blessing that the body of another may lay warm in the bed beside you at night, and the rent be paid, and a meal on the table with the sheriff far away from the scene of the crime. The motherfucking sheriff. Out! Oh, what is jazz but the registration of the human personality in relation to the spiritual, stripped of literal meaning, but full of sound and portent, direct as the voice of the God. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Late. Have a great day.
What's up, Hash Bash? My name's Rick Thompson. I want to introduce someone to you today. You know, from your programs, this is the 47th annual Hash Bash, but you may not know there have not been 47 Hash Bashes. There was a time when Hash Bash was interrupted and it wasn't going. A small group of people got together to resurrect this event and brought it together when it wasn't cool to be here, when it wasn't fun to be a cannabis advocate. At a time when it was dark, that's when heroes are born. I want to introduce to you somebody who has earned the name Mr. Hash Bash. Put your hands together for Adam Brook.
Thank you, Rick. Hey, how y'all doing out there? All right, so listen. I wear this silly hat because 30 years ago, a group of my friends, the Freedom Fighters, came marching through on a Hash Bash Saturday, which also happened to be on April 1st, and they had a banner that said pot is legal. And everyone thought that was funny because it was April 1st, and well, that was Hash Bash. Well, we've come a long way to where we're going to legalize in 2018. So we've got a lot farther to go, trust me. But in the meantime, we're going to keep coming out here every year for Hash Bash and doing our thing, because that's what we do, is our thing. So I would encourage you all to do your thing right here, right now, because that's what I do. But to me, this is a protest where we come out and say a big fuck you to the man. You can pass any laws you want against us. We're still once a year going to come out here and say fuck you to the man. So next year when they legalize pot in Michigan, you make sure you bring your friends back here so we can say fuck you to the man. Because the federal government's still going to have something up their butt about us. So because that's what I do, is say fuck you to the man, it wouldn't be happening the way it is, okay? I was responsible for a lot, but they put this together. I want to thank y'all for coming and enjoy the rest of the show. And I hope my lawyer's around here somewhere.
Happy Hash Bash, everybody! Good afternoon, my name is Matthew Abel, and I have the pleasure of being the executive director of the Michigan chapter of NORML, the National Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws. And I'm happy to be here today at Hash Bash, and I got a message for you, and that is that we need to change this law, and the way that we're going to change this law is we're going to register and vote. Right? So I'm going to say register, and you say vote. You ready? Register! Vote! Register! Vote! Register! Vote! All right, happy Hash Bash, everybody. And we got a job to do, and we got to do it between now and November. So go get all your friends and talk to them real nice and tell them it's real important to go down to the Secretary of State office and register to vote. Because when you register to vote, you can exert your power.
Now last year we got all the signatures that we needed, right? Yeah. We got all those signatures again, right? Yeah. And we turned them all in, and on February 9th, the date passed for people to challenge the signatures. So for them to challenge it now, they got to come up with some other bullshit argument. But we don't think they're going to be able to do that. There's even talk that the legislature might pass it themselves just so we all stay home and don't vote. Right? Now that's a really bad idea.
I don't know. It's okay.
They're not going to do it anyway, so get ready. Because as soon as they announce that this is on the ballot, the people fighting against us are going to come out and they're going to say all kinds of bullshit propaganda that even the government acknowledges isn't true. But we have to be ready. We have to have the statistics. We have to be able to tell them that it's not true and that cannabis is safe and it's peaceful and non-violent and it's what creates love in the world. Happy Hash Bash, everybody! And join NORML. Yeah!
Give it up again for Matt Abel, everybody! Only a few brownies left, 750 for the
Let it go, let it go.
Clearly.
The times of my friends, have a battles on the floor.